Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be going over the green carrot from OP-08. Now, before I move into this deck list, I did want to say thank you to everybody who's been showing their support, who's been commenting and liking, and our new subscribers here as well. I appreciate you so very much. I'll keep this very short. If you are interested in seeing some more sim, some unboxing, and potentially local action, please just go ahead and subscribe, and you'll see a lot more of me pop up on your feed. Now that we got that out the way, let's move into this deck list for Carrot. A lot of people, including myself, just think that this leader is just a little bit worse than Bonney, but in reality it's probably just a different type of green leader. So she is using the same sort of system that Bonney does, but this one is a little bit more aggressive. So go ahead and start it off with the Beppo 2K. This is just a searchable 2K. This has zero use outside of that, but since it is a Mink tribe character, you can grab it off of the Wanda search here, which is going to search for our Mink type characters and cards in general. So you can grab the Carrots, the Milky 2Ks, the Beppo 2Ks, the Inurashis, the Dog Storms, any Mink card you'll be able to grab off of this Wanda searcher. You can also grab the Electrical Luna here as well. Outside of that, we are running the Doflamingo engine in here as well. I think the top end important for this deck is going to be the Hody Jones and the Doflamingo. Now, we are running Rosinante here at 3 as well, but I'll get into that in just a moment. I do have Dog Storm here at 3. In order for leader ability to be online, you do need a Minks character in play, and your opponent will know that. So when you drop these Wanda searchers, they'll try to get rid of them. So having the Dog Storm on the field is pretty great to get leader ability online. Now the Dog Storm is if all of your Dawn is rested, this character cannot leave the field due to your opponent's effects. So if he's standing up and you're using all your Dawn, which you should be doing, he's going to stick on the board, which is going to make leader ability online next turn. So I do like playing this on 3, although it's not the most powerful play. It is a consistent play to get leader ability off. Now, of course, Doflamingo needs no introduction. The Baby 5 is a 2K here that's going to be searchable by our other Baby 5. And then the Rosinante as well. He's pretty great because you can cheat out a green character with a cost of 5. And our 3 best 5 characters, in fact, the 3 best cards in this deck are going to be the Bonney, the Inurashi, and the Carrot. So he does have targets in those. Baby 5 searches out the Dofis. We do have 4 of the Hody Jones. We all know why he's great as well. I won't bother you with that. We'll move down to the Jewelry Bonney here. She's able to freeze a character on play or a Dawn. Any character as well. There's no cost lock on that, so that's pretty great. As Carrot has a cost lock, so hers is a 7 or less character, gets frozen on play and when attacking. So she gets value when you play her out, and then also if she can stick around, you can start swinging into leader or other units and just lock another character down 7 or less. So very important card in this deck. Inurashi as well. If you have a Mink type, if your leader's Mink, which she is, 2 of your opponent's rested 5 or lower characters cannot become active. So you play him out, and you're basically freezing 2 5 or less characters on their board that are rested. So pretty great. Pretty great ability there. Now Milky is a searchable 2K from this Wanda, which searches out our Minx type characters. Then we got the 0 cost events here. Last 2 cards I want to go over are the Electrical Luna. This is a great card for Carrot. Just gonna run 2 of these. I don't really want to clog the deck up. I might run 3, honestly. I might change this around a little bit. I'm really learning this leader as I go along. But this is a great baseline for Carrot right now, but you may see another deck list from me in the future that has a more refined list. But Electrical Luna, 3 Dawn, you're pretty much Doflamingo, all of your opponent's characters 7 or less. So if they do have a board swarm board that's just 5, 6, 7 characters, and they did swing on you last turn, or you were able to rest them with leader ability and lock them down, you can lock them down another turn with this 3 cost event. And then of course the trigger, rest one of your opponent's characters, pretty great too. That's also in line with our whoever wins this war becomes justice. So finally we do have the Zoe. Man, this card, it's good, but I don't know. You're gonna play it out for 3 on play. You're gonna get an active Dawn if you rest the stage, during activate main. That's great just to have the extra Dawn to play with. I don't know if it's that impactful, but the most impactful part about it is the end of your turn set one of your Minx type characters is active. So you can restand this Carrot and you can restand this Inurashi. I mean, I guess you could restand Dogstorm, but these are really your targets you want to go. You want to restand these guys so leader doesn't swing into them. Really the carrot is honestly what you want to be doing here, but you know, restanding Inurashi is not a bad idea if you don't have a carrot in play. But yeah, if you're able to restand the carrot, she won't get swung into, and you can keep getting this ability off turn after turn. So a little faux aggression from this 08 green leader, but we'll move into some games and we'll showcase how all this really comes together. And who else to kick things off with besides Robert Lucci? We're going to go ahead and move into our first game here. This leader does like to go first, so it's great to see your opponent choose to go second. Now, we do have Stage and Carrot, which is pretty good. We also have the Dofi Searcher. I would like to see a Wanda here, so I'm going to mulligan just to see if we can get any other Minks support. We do see the Inurashi to replace that 5, and we do see the Dogstorm for our 3-Don turn. For 1 Don, we don't really have a play, though. That's what we did surrender with our previous hand, so we'll pass to opponent here, and we'll get out the Dogstorm next turn, which will really showcase the importance of this card, as Lucci is not going to be able to remove this, which is going to get our carrot ability off if we draw into it, and there it is. So that's great. Now I do have 3 different options here. We can go do 3 on leader, swing 8 at them, but that's, you know, we're not doing that. We could play out the Zoe for subsequent turns, but we need the Mink character down so that we can get leader ability off. So we're going to go ahead and start by swinging 5 with our leader to theirs. And they do decide to take that. Of course, no trigger. We're going to go ahead and play out the Dogstorm and pass to them. So again, opponent cannot remove this just because all our Dawn is rested. You know, we're not going to leave anything active. We're not Bonney, so we're not getting you know, punished for using our Bonney ability for this. That's why this card is great for Carrot, just to keep the Mink character in play. So they're going to start by swinging 5 at us. I am going to take that just to see what we can grab. We do grab the Bonney, which is pretty good. They do mill an Ice Age, which I also love to see. And seeing a Stussy and Trash is great too. So they play out the Lucci, and they're sending cards to the bottom of their deck for no reason, because this Dogstorm is not leaving the field. He is going nowhere. So huge misplay on our opponent's part here. Definitely read your cards, ladies and gentlemen, because this guy's here to stay. So they did just bottom deck potential subsequent Lucci cards for later. And yeah, he sticks around. So pretty great. What's also pretty great is because we have that Mink and Lucci's a 4, we're just going to go ahead and rest this guy here. And then we're going to go ahead and play out the Carrot, which is going to stun him, so he can't move either. And that will give us free reign to swing 5 in the leader. They'll probably give us a card here. I don't think they're going to want to go to 3 this early. And we'll see what they decide to do. Now, this is one of the reasons, yep, there's that counter. This is one of the reasons where I was talking about how I don't know how I feel about Stage, is because if you see your Dogstorm, you know, you kind of want to play that over Stage, you know? And then when am I really going to get this out? Because think about it, we're going to be at 7 Dawn next turn. You know, we're going to want to probably play Inurashi to lock down another character they play, because they could try to get rid of our Carrot here. And that would just leave us with 2 Dawn open. You know, what are we going to do with that? Am I going to play Stage next turn? But nope, there is the Shigan. They get rid of our Carrot, so we do lose her, which means we're going to play out the Inurashi next turn. I don't know if I want to go to 3 this early. But you know what? From a 7K, I think I will just take this to see what else we can grab. We get another baby 5 Searcher, so not the end of the world. Losing that Carrot is huge for them. But they don't know that we're going to play out this Inurashi next and just lock down another 2 characters. We do draw into the Hody here as well, so that could be a possible play. But I don't think I need the aggression at the moment. So first things first, I'm just going to go ahead and rest the Spandam just for fun. And we're going to play out the Inurashi, who's going to freeze both Spandam and Lucci. Now, I could play out a Searcher with this. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play out the baby 5 here, see if we can find a Dofi. Unfortunately, we don't, but we do replace her, which is not the end of the world. And next, I'm just going to swing another 5 into leader, probably get another card out of them for this as well. So that is 2 turns in a row that Lucci has not been able to do anything, which is pretty great. I love to see it. I would love to see another draw into you know, maybe something like another Inarashi or another carrot. That'd be pretty great. They do get the Who's Who trigger from the life there, and they KO our baby 5, so they don't have to worry on swinging about it. So they can put that aggression towards face. And notice the Dogstorm, again, untouched, is going nowhere. And when and if I do get the free Dawn, you know, he'll become a swinger as well. No point in really pumping him into the Spandam just to have him rested, so opponent has a reason to swing into something on board. I don't mind if they go face here. I do have a couple 2Ks, and I'm not really going to see use out of all these searchers. We didn't see our Dofi, but I could potentially try to find that next turn with another baby 5. So they're going to start things off with a 5 from lead. I'm going to say no to that. I'm going to give them one of our searchers here just because I think 2 is a bit much. And they're going to minus down our Inarashi. We could see a Jack play here, but he's only at 4. So maybe Jack and a Suru, something like that. But we'll see what they decide to do. Looking at trash here, seeing what their potential Moria plays are. They do have Helmeppo in the form of Dawn Reduction. They're also running the Sasaki here as well, which is just a 2K Animal Pirates card. Not really sure how that blends into Lucci, but they do decide to play out the Jack. They're going to need to use another card. Yep, there's the Tempest Kick that's going to minus our Inarashi. And then they're going to rest Jack and just, you know, get him out of here. So we're locking down their board. They're KOing our, you know, swings. So, you know, it's a bit of a back and forth, this matchup. But we'll see what we draw into. We do see the Dofi, which is phenomenal. I don't have to waste the baby 5 searcher on this. I could play out the Bonney just to lock down this Jack here. And I think that's what I'm planning on doing. I just want to see what I want to use for the rest of this Dawn. I could play out the Zoe. And then for 1 Dawn, make our Dogstorm a swing. And if they decide to go into that, that's fine. This Lucci's going to be at us next turn, so we have to remember that as well. All right, we'll start things off with just our Bonney here, and we'll lock down that Jack so he's not able to get that ability off. And then the turn after, we're going to Dofi. So Jack is basically offline for this foreseeable future here. I do have 4 Dawn open, and I could... Yeah, no, I'm going to play stage here. And then I'm going to activate one of our Dawns here. And that does give us 7 or 5-6. Which I think is just a bit better. So we'll go ahead and put 1 on Dog, and we'll swing 5 at life. Finally turning this character sideways for the first time. They are going to decide to take that hit. And then we're going to put another 1 on Carrot. Now I could swing into the Lucci, but I want to get a 2K out of their hand because up next is going to be Dofi. And then, you know, at some point we'll also be able to start playing out this Hody and just self-hit here. And then, of course, Zoe's ability will restand that Dogstorm, so he's not going to get swung into. Now, I could have left him rested, just so opponent doesn't put their aggression towards face. Maybe he could have taken a swing for us. But they are going to be moving into 10 Dawn, so hopefully they'll use that Dawn to allocate some characters. But we'll find out. And last turn I didn't have any targets for the Carrot ability, but I will next turn. So if they don't swing with the Lucci, or if they play out something else, I am going to rest it with leader ability and then lock it down with Doflamingo. So we're not out of the woods yet, but we do have our turn set up for us, so it's good to have that. Now they're going to move into 10 Dawn here. Here comes the Moria. This is going to get rid of our Bonney, and unfortunately we're not going to be able to rest this Moria, so it looks like next turn we're going to lock down this Lucci and Jack. So that's going to leave 2 Dawn. They'll probably throw a 6-7 at us, and we'll counter out of the 6, and we'll take the 7 and just see what we can do. And this is just another turn where they're able to just get rid of another one of our characters here, just really showcasing the power of Lucci. So they're doing their thing, getting everything out of their trash just so they can pop this. Just wait for them to finish up here. And there goes the Bonney. So, yep, we got probably most likely like a 6-7 coming our way. And the 6 we're going to give a 2K for. We'll give him the Milky here. And then we'll take the 7. All right, we do draw into the Bonney from life. Not sure if that's going to really be able to get some play here. And we also draw into the Carrot as well. So, yeah, this turn is just decided for us. We're just going to go ahead and start with a 5K swing from lead. You know what? No. We do want to get Zoe's ability off. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and rest the Lucci because the Dogstorm is still here. And then we'll play out the Dofi 1, 2, 3, lock these guys down, and then we'll activate Zoe ability, gain an active Dawn, and we'll throw 6k at face here. Get another 2k out of their hand. Or if we're lucky, double 1k, or even luckier, we'll take the life. So we'll go ahead and pass. Nothing to restand here with leader or with stage ability. Would have loved to see another Dofi to really just further lock down their board. And they could end up playing out a Sabo here to try to block her up. I think what would really be the worst is if it was 2 Sabos. Because if they're not ready to, if they're not able to get rid of Dofi this turn, then I think our best bet is going for game, because we do have the Hody in hand, and we do have a 10k on board. So, worst case scenario, we see double Sabo, and I'm unable to rest both of them because one Sabo will get rested by our ability. Even one Sabo is annoying just because they're able to draw off of that. So speaking of draw, they do use the Tempest kick here to minus 3k to our Dofi, putting him at 7. That's already a bad sign. If I lose this Dofi here, I'm going to be in a bit of trouble. So really hoping they don't have a way to get rid of him. They've used several Tempest kicks. I think this is their 3rd. I think they bottom deck one with Lucci. And then, we got to remember they have Shigan as well. They are going to throw 5 at us, and they'll minus the Dofi again, putting him at 6. I am absolutely terrified right now. So I'm going to give them the 1k for that. Again, taking life here is not really going to change anything, because even if we drew into another Dofi, yeah, there's the Ice Age. That is really unfortunate. I do not want to see that at all, but I kind of, what are you going to do? There's not really much you can do there. And it's, regardless of what they do to this Hody, I have to play, not the Hody, regardless of what they do to this Doflamingo, I have to play Hody. I have no choice. I can't lock down this board again. They play out the blocker, Rebecca, who's probably going to, throw out a Spandine if he's in here, and is going to throw out a second Lucci. What do they decide to play? They play Brooke, and they kill it. Wow. That is sad. I am very sad to see that. So, big sad there. For 4 Dawn, again, they could play another Rebecca. That would be just terrible, and it looks like that's what they do. So, just a perfect play for them. Nothing we could do. We are going to rest both of these Rebeccas with Hody, and then just hope. But we do get the Electrical Lunar, which is going to rest one of them anyway, so that's great. Just kind of hope they don't have the counter in hand. So we do have 3 swings. 7 of that's going to be for Hody. That's going to be our 7-8. That leaves 3 Dawn. We could do 6, 6, 8, and just hope that's enough. They've given us plenty of 2Ks this game, so I guess we'll see. Yeah, but first things first, I have to play the Hody. And we'll see what happens. Let's go 6, 6, 8, and just pray. Yeah, seeing double Rebecca here was devastating for us. And with 6 cards in hand, I can imagine they'll have drawn into a 2K. They did grab a Sabo from trash with the Rebecca. So we do know that there is 1K counter there. They take that. I guess 5, 9. Doesn't really matter. Go 5 here. They'll give us the Sabo, if anything, because we know that they have it. And then we're going to throw 9. Okay, great. Wow. They don't have it. They do not have it. They had only 2K counter. Hey, that's great. Hell yeah. I love to see that. We somehow got out of that one. So, first game of Carrot down. We'll go ahead and move into our next game here as well. Hey, here we go. Game 2 into the Black-Yellow Luffy. They do decide to take second here, which gives us our curve. That's pretty great. We do see some top end in our hand, and we see the Dog Storm, so I am going to keep this. It's always nice to see a Wanda, but we don't have one, and I really like the fact that we have Dog Storm, so we'll be able to do Dog Storm into Carrot and get value from that if they actually play something out. But knowing this leader, they'll probably just throw out some Garps, and the Garps are going to find them their later games. So first things first, they do decide to use the event, and they draw into their Luffy here. We do get a second Doflamingo, which is always great to have in hand if you don't have anything like Baby 5. So we're just going to go ahead and throw 5 at them, just to get that first life out of the way. They are going to take it, knowing them, just so they can get closer to their leader ability. So Fine by me. We are going to play out the Dog Storm after the damage is resolved here. They do take that life. And next is going to be Dog Storm, and we'll go ahead and pass. So another great showcase for this character is that he's not going anywhere, because even if they do drop Rocket Luffy at some point, they just can't KO him. He cannot be KO'd, basically. I'm never leaving a Dawn open, so he's going nowhere. And they do play out the Kuzan, who I'm just going to lock down, honestly. I will take this life. We do get a Baby 5 2K. Next is going to be the rest on the Kuzan. And, you know, we are going to try to get a counter out of them, because if we swing at life, they're just going to take it. So swing 5 into the Kuzan just to get a 1K from hand. That's one of the things with this leader, is he's just always going to, you know, hoard cards. So to get 1K here could be substantial for us. I know that they'll probably throw something that they want in trash with leader ability. So we'll see what they decide to do here as we do swing 5 into this Kuzan. They might get spooked and let it go. But we'll find out what they decide to do, because they could think, oh nope, they give us a Baby Sabo. So that's good for now, bad for a Moria play, you know. But that is a counter nonetheless. We'll play out the carrot. We'll just freeze him anyway. So he is substantially going to be offline for the foreseeable future. And I will keep swinging into him, trying to get counter from hand. So if we're lucky, opponent will keep defending this card, and we'll keep locking it down perpetually. So that'd be pretty great of us. So again, great, strong play here, just showcasing the 3-Dawn Dog Storm. What do they do here? What do they do? They use Shigan. Luffy's running Shigan now. Are you kidding me? Well, that is unfortunate. Did not expect that. But we could have just seen a Rocket Luffy anyway. So they're going to swing 7 into us. I'll also take this. And we do see the Electrical Luna, but nothing to rest, because Kuzan's already locked down here. So we'll pass to us, and that's 3 Doffies. I know what I'm doing for 3 10-Dawn terms. I don't know. Maybe a Hody will come out. We'll see. Nothing to play here. I could lock down the Kuzan again, but I'm just going to swing into this guy, honestly. I'm going to put 2 onto him. I'm sorry, 2 onto Carrot, swing 7 and 5. They'll just let this go. There's no way they're giving 2K, 1K for this. And then for 5 Dawn, man, I could make a big swing from Dog Storm, but I don't know. That's not really something I want to do. I'm just going to go ahead and pass here. You know, kind of see if they can self-hit. Because putting them at 2, we could see a Flampe. We could see the Makino. But Shigan, that's interesting. Did not expect that. I mean, I guess that works out, because they trash the top 2 of their deck. And more times than not, they will see the larger brothers fall into there. And there's that Gecko we were worried about. They play the Kuzan anyway into a Garp. And then we'll probably just see a 5K from lead, which, you know, it sucks, but we have to give them a 2K for that. So very unfortunate. Wish we didn't lose our Carrot, because we could have just used the 7 Hody. And then Carrot froze the Kuzan again, so it had great value. We'll give him the 2K for that, though. So this is getting a little bit out of hand for us. We have all of these Doffies, but we're nowhere near 10 yet. We have another turn of aggression to get through, so... Man, another Hody, that sucks. I want a 5-Dawn play so bad right now. Shoot, do we play Hody here? I mean, we could. We could play Hody swinging a Moria. Yeah, we don't have any stun. I mean, I could Hody... No, I can't Hody Luna either. I just don't have a 5 play. That's very unfortunate. You hate to see it. Yeah, I'm just going to Hody anyway. And we do draw another Dog Storm. And for 2 Dawn, I could ask a 2K. I just don't think that's enough. I think it's better to just swing into the Kuzan here. So we'll swing 5 into Kuzan. And if they give it to us, you know, then I guess we'll go 11 into the 9. Or, I'm sorry, 10 into the 9. No, they don't give it to us, so that, I don't know, that's fine. We get more targets to swing into with the... No, I don't want to swing with Dog Storm, because then I won't get leader ability off, so... Yeah, I guess 10 into Kuzan is really our best play here. And they'll let that go for sure. And we'll go ahead and pass over to them. Yeah, this is getting a little out of hand for me. I didn't see any 5 plays. Having all these Doffies is great, but nothing but top end in events can be a bit scary, you know, no matter what deck you're playing. But, you know, is there a world where I let these Doffies go for our 0 cost? Maybe. Maybe 1. I guess the good news is they're going to have to swing with Gecko. And they're probably going to throw it at Hody with 10 Dawn. They could play another Gecko. Ooh, if they play another Gecko, that could be bad. That could be really bad, actually. Kind of playing on the back foot here, even with all this top end in hand. We could, they are thinking here. They do have, what is this, 9 cards? Yeah, they have 9 cards. They play out the Luffy. They're finally going to self-hit. And they play out the Sabo as well. They are probably noticing that we're going to 10 Dawn, so maybe they don't even swing with this Gecko, because one of these is getting rested for leader ability because they can't KO the Dogstorm. So we're going to lock down one of these. Shoot, it honestly might be... It might be Luffy for now, just so he doesn't have an 8k to throw at us. We'll give him 1k here, and just kind of hope that they swing with Gecko, and they do, which is great. And they're going to swing 9, and we actually have, you know, we have 9, so I'll use... do I want to get rid of Hody? No, I don't. I'll get rid of one of these Dofis, and then they'll probably just pass up, yeah. We do draw Rosinante, which, you know, again, that's not something I want to see at all. And we got to keep our Hody, so that's pretty great. So we'll go ahead and lock down this Luffy because we don't want them to keep going face, and I doubt they'll swing with the blocker. And we'll just 10 drop here and lock down Moria, Luffy, and leader. And then we'll just go ahead and throw 8 at face, which they're going to take. And then we'll, you know, we could just throw another 5. I think I will. I'll throw another 5, and then they'll get their leader ability off next turn. But we got to thin out this hand. I can't be, you know, defensive for too long because we're going to drop another Doflamingo, and having them at 0 is super important. Now, getting Ace out could be a problem for us. Oh, okay, they counter, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and pass over to them. Really no swings unless they do decide to drop off the Ace, but we'll see what they decide to do here. Yeah, I think Ace is really going to be our biggest problem because, you know, should I have not gotten rid of that Dofi next turn just to really stall things out? But I didn't want to drop the Hody, and I didn't want to drop the Luna. Just, oh man, you know what? Honestly, thinking about it, I should have dropped the Luna. I should have dropped the Luna instead of the Dofi. They do play out the event, and that grabs them a Luffy, and then they do play out a Garp, which grabs them a Sabo. So 8 Dawn could be another Moria play, but instead it's going to be an Ivankov. So the Ivankov is going to take life and put something up top there, and they'll probably use a little brother. Yep, here comes the Luffy, and they do buff lead, which could probably be in their best interest, honestly, just to buff lead for now. So that they can stop some of our heavier swings coming in. If I were them, I would stop there. Really no point in swinging with a blocker, because I am gonna lock down these 3 again, and then probably just swing with Dofi and the 10 cost to get rid of this Ivankov, because, you know, they're gonna take 1. Yeah, they'll probably they'll counter out of the 2K. Then I won't swing with the Dofi. If they counter out of the 2K, I'll probably just throw Dofi at Gecko, because that'll probably get the 2K out of their hand anyway. So I don't imagine a world where they want to let this Gecko go, even if he's going to get frozen. So what did they do here? Nope, they used Luffy ability. Okay, so they're going to use leader ability, trash a card, and they're going to use leader ability to stack up the next 2. Now, they're not going to be able to play these cards because they only have 1 Dawn active. And if they do decide to swing with the... Yeah, no, they're not going to do that. Okay. All right, so thoughts on what to do here. 5 cards in hand could be... Yeah, I don't think I want to go for a game here because I have to hit them substantially to do that. So, yeah, let's do first things first. We'll go... do I want to get rid of these instead? Because they will end up in trash, which is kind of where they... No, they'll bottom deck them. That's right. They'll bottom deck them from leader ability, so... Do I want to just throw 10 into the Gecko, or do I want to throw 10 into lead and try to get rid of these blockers? I guess we'll start off with the 8. We'll start with 8 to lead and see if we can get a 2K or a blocker or bottom deck. No matter what happens here, I'm happy with the result. Okay, 2K, that's good. Yeah, so next we could throw 10... Oh, man, you know what? I want to throw 10 at this Luffy because they'll probably just let it go. And then I'll rest the other one. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm going to throw 10 at this Luffy. They'll let it go. And then I'll rest this other Luffy. You know, or they could just give us the Ivankov here, which is, you know, equally as fine. I got to get rid of these guys at some point. Yep, and then we'll go ahead and rest the other Luffy. And then we'll play out another 10 drop and 1, 2, 3 freeze and pass up to them. So next turn we could do lethal because we do have the Hody Jones, and their only swingers outside of dropping an ace are the Sabo and the Ivankov, which are their blockers. So I doubt they're going to want to do that. So they are going to play out another blocker. Keep in mind we are going to play Hody, and we do have leader ability here as well. So we could rest all 3 of these cards. So, you know, hopefully they don't have another Luffy. I should have been keeping track about whether or not they did. They have 1, 2, 3. They do ditch a Kuzan and a Kuzan for their ability. So they have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're just going to use that ability anyway. I forgot about that. They do have the Luffy here. And they're going to put 2 on lead. Stack their life up again. This is one of those times where I'm like, you know what? I absolutely should have gotten rid of Luna here instead of that Doflamingo, because I could have just done 3 Dofis back to back to back and played a long game with them. Because, you know, their long game versus my long game, they're definitely at a deficit here. Because they had a trash for leader ability that's going to put them at 4. They do put 2 Luffys on life. With 6 Dawn, they're not going to be able to play out another Gecko Moria. And I know that 3 of these Luffys are in the trash, right? We got 1, 2, and 3. There's 3 Luffys in the trash. So, you know, at the very best, they could have 1 in hand. At the worst, they don't. And with 6 Dawn, like, what are you going to do? You're going to play out another Sabo? You've got 1, 2 Sabos here. 3 are, that's, you know, they only have 1 Sabo and 1 baby Luffy floating around. But they are at 20 cards, so it could be very much possible for us to see them have that in hand right now. But we've got a 10k, a 10k, Hody, and another Hody. If I had that Doflamingo, man, I would have just shut it down for another turn. And I feel like that really would have gotten us the game. But they're going to swing with a blocker 7k at us. Do I even care? Yeah, I guess I do care. No, I don't really care. You know, I do care. I'm going to give them the event here with the Rosinante. And yep, there's another Sabo. So they weren't too afraid because they were able to just get 3 blockers out. And they are going to filter hand as well. So we know that they have counters. So I'm not sure. And one of them's a 2k. Wow. Okay. So I'm not sure if this is going to punch through here. So we have 7k. Oh, man. Maybe. Honestly, maybe. Yeah. You know what? Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. We'll rest both of these Sabos, hit life here, and then we'll leader ability rest the Ivankov. So we have a 9, 9. Yeah, this is a 7. So 9, 9, 10, 11. Or I could make 7 here. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. Yeah, that's better. We'll go 7 at lead. Get one of these 3 cards out. I think this is lethal. Yeah. Because if they have 3 cards and we have what? 5 swings? Yep, so there's 1 2k. And then we're going to ask for another 2k, which they'll give us if they have it. And then it's just, yep, and then this is too much. So 9, they cannot possibly have it. And these go to the bottom of the deck, so they just lose these counters. And then 10, they don't have that. They'll lose this here as well. And then our final Dofi swing. So it worked out for us in the end. GG to opponent. This was a nail-biter. Very close game. Very close game. And the last card was 0 counter with the Moria, so they did have it. Wow. Yeah. No, if I could go back, I would still keep this Dofi, right? Because, like, I held on to Luna this whole time. Would I have played Dofi this turn? I mean, if I spent some time and thought about it, I could have saw that we had, you know, guaranteed lethal with the Hody. What they probably should have done is not swung with that blocker. Just kept him up. Because, you know, we are a green deck, and I don't know if they thought about Hody. If they did not swing with that Sabo and had 4 blockers, I probably would have gone for another Dofi turn instead of ditching the Dofi for the For the 0 cost, I would have gotten rid of Luna if I was a smarter player. But we'll go ahead and move into our next game. This was a bit of a long one, but thanks for sticking around for that one. And this is probably going to be our last game here today, just because things have been a little bit longer than usual in our matchups. And that last game is going to be up against Kalgara, and I have 3 Dofis, a Wanda, and a Carrot. And call me crazy, I'm keeping that just to see what we can do here. So for turn 1, we're going to go ahead and play out the Wanda. Wow, every Carrot in our deck right in front of us, so I guess we'll just take another Carrot and pass to opponent. So unfortunately, we don't have a Dog Storm to play on our 3-Don. They do play out the 2-cost Shirahoshi blocker, which I find quite interesting. I guess, I don't know, rest? Yeah, I'm going to swing into that, just 2 into 0, because we are going to play another Wanda, which we will be able to keep up. And there is the Dog Storm we were looking for from earlier, and here is 7 from lead. Now, best thing opponent could do is Ohm and Holly next turn. We will be able to lock down one of them with our Carrot here, and they do hit the Earth Won't Lose trigger, filtering out one of those Hollies after they draw 2 cards. So, very interesting hand. I wouldn't say I normally would keep. They do use leader ability here to cheat out the Wiper, losing a life, and 9k comes at us, and they do play out the upper yard after doing the Wiper search, but playing 1 from hand. So 9k, we'll definitely take that. We do get another Dog Storm. I'm just going to go ahead and rest this Wiper here so we can play out our Carrot and freeze it. And throw another 5 at face, which we'll probably see a counter out of here as well. And they do give us a 2k Wiper, so we'll go ahead and pass over to them. And yeah, I guess, I don't know, seeing Dofi all the time has been pretty awesome. Keep in mind that probably won't always happen. We'll give them the Milky 2k for this 6k swing, and for the 5, they'll probably play out the Norland and heal with the combo here, and they do. So we are going to rest the Norland. And we are going to play another Carrot. So we'll play another Carrot, and we'll freeze the Norland, and then we'll be able to do 6, 7 is what I want to do here. Yep, so we'll do 6 from lead at face, ask for a 2k. They do give us the Satori, so we'll play 1 Dawn on Carrot here, swing 7 at face, and freeze the other Wiper. So we are perpetually locking these guys down, and they're only kind of leaving them with 1 swing. Now, it is a hefty swing in the form of an 8k body. They are going to use their Hiyori ability to place something on life. Very interesting seeing Hiyori being ran in this deck. I am very much looking forward to playing this leader. I actually had it built first above all else, so they are going to swing 8 into our Carrot here. I don't think it's worth giving them all 3 of our counters, so we'll let it go. And then they're going to put 1 on leader, just so they can do leader ability again. We'll probably see another Norland come out. But nope, they don't use leader ability. We will take that. I'm curious to see what they put on life. It could have been a... Oh, wow, 7. I should have seen that coming, actually. I guess we'll take that here as well. No, you know what? No, I'm going to give them Dog Storm, and the Inarashi. We do draw into a 2k. I just want to stay healthy enough so we can get into our Dofi terms better. We're going to do some more freezing here. We're finally able to lock down that Kalgara. So we're going to deploy this, freeze Ace, freeze Norland. And we'll throw 7 at the Wiper and freeze the Kalgara. And if we get we got the Wiper out of here, which is great. Then we'll just do 5, 5 from leader, and then 5 from the Wanda. But they do get the Thunderbolt trigger, which is what they were looking for. So I'm glad we did that before we went phase. So 5 from Wanda. I do like that they run the Thunderbolt because I actually run 2 of these here as well. If you haven't seen the Kalgara video, definitely check that out. As that's going to be my, that's going to be my go-to deck for 08 for now. They are going to play out in Norland and heal. And for 5, they're going to swing here at our Wanda. We'll let that go as if we had an option. And then 7 for the Ace, which I have to take as well. But now it's time for the Dofi, the Dofi turn. So unfortunately, not really much to swing into with 5. But we'll get a card out of their hand by swinging 6 into the Norland. They do give us a 2K for that. And then we'll just Dofi here. We'll do 7, 7, and then the 8 cost. And then we'll swing 5 at lead. And now we're off to the races, ladies and gentlemen. We are off to the races because now they're just going to try to be as aggressive as possible. And if they don't get us this turn, we'll just we'll play out Hody next turn and just go for it. So unless they have another Norland, which would be quite upsetting, but they don't. They're going to do 9 at face. We'll probably see what 3 here, and they'll put another 3 on the Norland to go another 9, and then they do 9 again. So I have the counter for that, so I'll let that slide. We actually do see the event here, and we'll use that to rest the Norland. So even if we didn't have the counter, they weren't going to be able to do lethal this turn. That may have just shut everything down for them, actually. Because if they don't have another ace, then they're in a lot of trouble. But instead, they're going to play out the Wiper, bottom deck that stage, try to find some counter from his top 5 searcher for the Shandora. They draw 1K for Kalgara. That's not going to save them. And I am going to take this just because we're going for lethal next turn. And yeah, I don't even think I have to play the Hody if I don't want to. I could just split here. Started off with 10 from the Doflamingo. They'll obviously, I mean, if they counter, then they're going to just, you know, they're going to get split up here for Inurashi, which I'll probably do anyway. We'll go ahead and put 3 on Inurashi, swing 9 at face. And they give us 2, 1, 1, 1. And then just 7 should lock it out here. And yep, they do concede. We'll throw out the GG. Love Kalgara. Interesting deck list. Shirahoshi and Hiyori is... And oh my god, Onami is in here too. What do they got in here? Wow. I guess that's their spice. They're using the Blaze Split as well. The rest event. That's very spicy list they got going on here. 10-drop ace? What? I love it. I love it so much. I'm excited to play around with my Kalgara too. But GG's, let's get back into the deck list and close things out here. And that's going to do it for us here today. We did get to play around with the green carrot. How do I feel? How do I feel? I don't know. I think it's fine. Is this a deck that's going to, you know, top major events? I don't think so. You're really just hiding behind your freeze abilities with your Inurashi carrots and your Luna events, and then just swarming Dofis. I mean, most green decks do this. You know, Bonney plays around with that 9-cost Zoro as well. I don't like the Rosinante too much. I did see him a couple of times in our games today, but just with practicing as well, I don't really know how I feel about this. I mean, on paper, you should be able to do this, protect board. But almost every time I've ever played him, opponent just goes super tall into him, and then just, you know, I mean, I guess we're wasting Dawn that way, but this is definitely a list I'm going to revisit. I'm gonna make some tweaks. The winners of today were the Dogstorm, and of course, Carrot, Inurashi, and Doflamingo. I mean, these are just the bread and butter right here, right? Like Carrot, Inurashi, freezing, Dogstorm sticking around forever, basically. And then Doflamingo, you know, what do we say? It's one of the best green characters, one of the best cards in all of One Piece. So the Milky's been putting in work with the 2Ks. The Wanda is great for searching. You know, we've got the baby 5s here. Hody, you know, the Goaty Jones. But yeah, definitely going to revisit this maybe in a later video. But right now, I'd say that this was just fun. Green in general is just a good time. And this is definitely a little spicy. Take this to your locals. Mess around with it. You know, let me know what you're running. What would I change in here? A couple things. What would you change in here? Let me know. Thank you so much for coming in, guys. It's been another great video. And again, like, subscribe, stay tuned for more One Piece, and I will catch you in the next one.